Happy Mola Monday, Epic7, and welcome to this week's Hall of Trials video. Nursing a little bit of a cold, so sorry if I sound a little bit off. This week we work on the Dagger Sicar mission for Nilgal. Now when you look at the requirements for this, you might think to yourself, I'll just use Fire Lilias and Sirmia, and while that can work, and I mean it can, I got pretty close. I know the second place guy right now used this team. It's a lot of RNG. It's really hoping that Sirmia's S1 double procs, and it is not an easy walk. If you decide to go with the Lilias team, this is the stat line that I used, and it got really close to the top score. Lilias, I have on her S1 EE to give self-healing, and I've got her on this free artifact which heals the back row, so in a sense she heals herself and Sirmia every time she S1s, and Sirmia I just have on a giga damage set with her number 1 EE for extra attacks. But like I said, this team is full of RNG, so let's look at the requirements and see if we can come up with something better. First, if there's a Dark Elemental hero on the team, everybody loses half their attack, so no Dark Elemental heroes, no Kitty Clarissa, no Sinful Angelica. Rangers have their own attack decreased by 50%, so you can't use a Ranger as your DPS unit, but you could use Rangers for support. Fire Elementals are given more health and attack, and if you use a non-single target attack, your damage is increased by 50%. So units that attack more than one spot or do AoEs do more damage. So I will go ahead and explain to you how I did this, how I came up with a team that, as you can see, got an incredibly high score. But first, I want to talk a little bit about today's sponsor. You know them, you love them. That's right, once again, we're sponsored by Huawei AppGallery. Huawei ran a very successful campaign last month, which I advertised in previous videos, and it was so well received and saved the Epicseven player base so much money that they have extended it and are running an additional promotion for the month of December. With this promotion, you will be able to use coupons to get 20 to 30% discount off of your in-game purchases. I use this every time I make a purchase in Epicseven, and it has saved me a ton of money over the past several months. I hope it does the same for you. And don't worry, it's not too good to be true. This is a collaboration with Epicseven. They're fully aware of it and approved it. These discounts don't violate any kind of laws, if anybody's worried about that. I'm going to take some extra time here because this is such a good deal. I'm going to walk you through installing the app all the way through making a purchase. If you get lost or have questions about this process, check the description below for a link to my Discord. Jump in. We've got a support room where we can answer all of your questions. First, grab an Android device and download the Huawei app using this link, which you can find in the description of the video. And just install the app. Now you have to provide birthdays, emails, maybe phone numbers, all the basic stuff that app stores that process money ask you for, nothing out of the ordinary. Make sure when you get to the birthday part that even if you want to lie about your age, you claim to at least be 17 years old, or you'll get stuck behind a child account wall. When you get to the section where you get to select your country, selecting Turkey does give slightly better discounts. However, you can only pay with credit card via Turkey, and a lot of fraud prevention on credit cards were resulting in people having their payments declined and resulted in a lot of support discussions to that effect. If you select Switzerland, it's still a fantastic discount, and Switzerland allows payment via PayPal, which eliminates a lot of the fraud prevention issues, especially for people living outside of the USA and Europe. When you get to the screen where it asks you for a mobile phone number so you can set up a text message for confirmation, you can set the country back to whatever country you're in. It doesn't matter if you selected Switzerland or Turkey as your purchase country. You can set your phone country to any country and use your cell phone to get the confirmation text message. Once installed, you'll need to check to make sure that HMS Core is also installed. HMS Core runs in the background and it just makes sure that all of your in-game purchases are connected to your Huawei account. Now, install a new instance of Epicseven via the Huawei App Store and make sure that this is the instance where you make your purchases. Once all this is done, head over to the features section and take a look at the promotions. This month we have a series of coupons offering up to 30% off of your purchases, and these coupons can be redeemed every single day throughout the duration of the event. No limit, no tiers, no cap. So let's fire up the game and I'll walk you through making your first purchase. You launch the game via the version of Epicseven you downloaded from the App Store, and you'll see the prices in Swiss francs or Turkish lira depending on the country you set. So here it shows the $100 Mystic pack, which for me cost $107 due to sales tax. As you can see, the Swiss franc allows PayPal as an option, which eliminates a lot of the fraud protection issues that are on credit cards. You want to make sure you select the strongest coupon you can for the pack you're purchasing. It doesn't necessarily preload. And that takes us down to 76.34 Swiss francs, which is the equivalent of $86.96 currently. So this is a $20 savings for me. It's a 20% discount off of the $100 pack. Now, I set my country to Turkey, so I run off the Turkish lira. This is a $5 pack, and it comes out to 89 Turkish lira with the 22 lira coupon. 89 Turkish lira is about $3, so it's a better discount, but I went through a bunch of hoops getting my account set up to make this work. My credit card was absolutely convinced that somebody in Turkey had stolen it and kept declining the charges. I was eventually able to get it sorted out, but to be honest, I wouldn't go through that again. If you're able to make Turkey work, great. Better savings, but if it doesn't work for you, just switch back to Switzerland and use PayPal and eliminate all of the fraud prevention issues because you're not directly using your credit card. And just like that, I've saved 20 to 30% off of my in-app purchases in epicseven. This promotion will be going on throughout the month of December and into a little bit of January, so definitely jump on board and take advantage. It really is as easy as that. If you do hit a stumbling block, however, check the description of the video for links to my Discord as well as to Huawei's Discord, where you will receive tech support that you'll need to make this happen. But you know what isn't super easy? Fighting Nilgal. But hopefully this team will help you out. So, as we said before, multi-target hits are boosted, but you know what? Sirmia doesn't care. Sirmia hits so darn hard, we're just going to ignore that mechanic entirely. This is the team that I decided to go with, and I think it's very stable. First, you want to run Tamarin. Tamarin's our dual attacker and our attack buffer. Now, the thing about Tam is you don't want her to waste turns, taking turns inside of the break phase, but you want her to cycle her skills. You want to use non-attack skills as seldom as possible because non-attack skills reduce Nilgal's cooldown and make him spam his attacks more. So the magic bullet is very low speed, very high tankiness since she's up front, and give her the Eternus artifact. The Eternus artifact lets her CR push without using non-attack skills because there's no point in time where your team's not going to have a debuff on them somewhere. So it really is a good combination. I didn't have to work hard re-gearing Tamarin. I just used the in-game fribbles with leftover gear and hit go. Next on the team, we're going to run Camilla. My Camilla's on a rage set. Yours doesn't have to be, but every little bit of extra damage helps. It's not a very good rage set, but it gets the job done. I put her on Benimaru's Tachi so that I wouldn't have to use her S2 cycling Nilgal skills. Yours doesn't have to be plus 30, but the higher the better. You could experiment with different speeds on Camilla. I don't think it really matters that much. 143 speed worked for me, which was nice because this is literally my normal Expedition Camilla. I didn't have to re-gear her at all for this. Next on the team is Command Model Leica. Leica you want to run as slow as possible, which is not easy because she has pretty high base speed. But this is the Leica I built. She is a ranger, so her attack is cut in half. She only has like 2100 attacks, so don't worry about damage too much. She is there specifically to bring target debuffs and to do a dual attack. I know she has it built into her S2, but it's nice to have it for the transition phase. And finally, you build an Atomic Sirmia. This is the strongest Sirmia I could build. Even though the pen set doesn't give value inside of the break phase, it's still the strongest build I could get, even if you ignore the extra damage from pen. You want to make sure she's on her number 1 EE and give her the Cruel Mischief artifact for extra damage. If you don't have Cruel Mischief, use Our Beautiful Seasons or Symbol of Unity. Now this is a very technical fight, so pay attention to what we're doing here. No full auto this time. At the start of the fight, Nilgal throws his Poison Bomb, which has a chance to debuff everybody. Now, things to know about Nilgal. If you use a non-attack skill, his cooldown reduces. He will cycle his big attack even faster. If you hit Nilgal while you are debuffed, everybody CR pushes. So if you're debuffed, dump attacks into the eggs. I wasn't debuffed, so I went ahead and dropped my S3 into Nilgal just to seed some damage. Now you see we're all debuffed. I don't want to reduce cooldown, so I'm just using S1s. I don't want to push Nilgal, and I don't want to push phase yet, so we're only going to hit the eggs. What we're doing is stalling for time. We're trying to make sure that Tamarin's S3 is ready, and that we've got proper insertion. I'm going to use Leica's S3 for a couple of reasons. It puts slow on everybody, which is nice, and it has a chance to put the eggs to sleep, which means they can spam fewer debuffs. This isn't required, but I figured it was a nice boost. Now remember, Benny Mars taught you will not proc when you're wearing a debuff, so if you wind up with a debuff and you need the attack buff off of Camilla, you always have that S2, but it is a non-attack skill, and that will cycle Nilgal's debuffs. So you've got to time it carefully.
I'll cut your throat. Now! On my way.
So I'm going to put the target debuff on Nilgal, just so that we have it. Timing is perfect. She's going to be able to transform, push Sirmia up. Sirmia is going to be able to greater attack buff herself and enter the break phase. This is about as good as it gets. We've also got that 2-turn target, so we'll carry one of those turns into the break phase. We'll use the S3. It does more damage outside of the break phase. It does less damage inside of the break phase because it's a penetration-loaded skill, and there is no defense to pen inside the break phase. So this is perfection. All we need now are these extra hits. We've got one round of Gab on Sirmia, but the S2 from Leica not only dual attacks, but extends it to a 2-turn Gab. We S1 Tam, we S1 Camilla. We really need to proc these extra hits from Sirmia. Come on, Sirmia, give me an extra hit. Killing me, Sirmia. Little wasted attack here. Come on, show me a dual attack. I mean, an extra attack. Show me the extra attack. There we go. She wasn't doing it because I was calling it a dual attack, I'm sure. So that's 5.5 million out of the first stage. More than halfway to our 10 million goal. Everybody's debuffed. I don't want to push Nilgal, so we're just going to hit the eggs for now. Actually, I'm going to use the S3. The S3 will put slow on everybody, and it's worth the slight CR push to Nilgal. It gives us immunity too, which can help a little bit, but the eggs will just strip it. But the nice thing is the eggs are all asleep. And with the eggs all sleepy, we don't have to worry about them putting debuffs on us.
I'm scared.
We're definitely not ready to S2 yet. Nilgal would push up, take a turn, but Tamarin is ready. So I think here we're just going to S1... If we S2, the eggs will push up, but not Nilgal. So it's safe to S2. The eggs push up. And we S3. Doesn't quite push us into the phase, but Tam's not going to cut. I've got a debuff. If I hit Nilgal, he'll push up, and then he'll poison bomb us and strip everything. We've got to enter phase now. So we're going to use the S2, unfortunately outside of the break phase, but we need it to get into the break phase. Now we get a double hit. Okay, unfortunately, Tam has to transform inside the phase, wasting a turn. But there's no reason to S2. Sirmia's already got the Gab. So we S1 for the dual attack, we S1 for a dual attack. Give me another extra hit. There we go, extra hits. Those are what we're looking for. We just have to S1. Okay, Sirmia's down to a 1-turn Gab, and I think... I'm worried Tam might not make it around the horn, so I'm going to go ahead and S2 here. A little bit for the heals, but also because her attack buff will extend the Gab on Sirmia. I think it's worth the wasted turn. I hope I don't regret that. Another dual attack. And we can S1, and now we still have the Gab. I think points-wise, if I hadn't S2'd there, I would be better in shape for points, but this has me better in shape health-wise to get out of this phase and potentially do a full clear. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're already 1.3 million past the Dagger Sicar threshold. Okay, I'm going to S3 and try to put these eggs to sleep since they're getting ready to take a turn. We'll get immunity on everybody to reduce debuffs, and we slept both of them. Fantastic. Tam can't heal through heal blocks, so we just S1. I'm tempted to S2, S3 to cycle off of the heal block and be able to drop a nuke into that debuff. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Okay, so we S2, we get Gab, and we drop a big nuke into Nilgal. Remember, outside the break phase, the S3 does hit harder. There's the detonate. Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to cycle Nilgal because we really want to get this damage in. No defense break. That's unfortunate. I was really hoping for a break there. And everything's stripped. You know, Nilgal's ready anyway, so we're going to S2 to top off the healing on Sirmia. And that is one dead Leica, but that's okay. We don't need Leica. Tam's ready to transform. That's all that matters. We hit, we push up. I'm just going to hit the egg so that we don't push up. No, like an idiot, I'm going to hit Nilgal. We should have hit the egg. I'm really lucky that didn't kill Sirmia. The smart move there was to hit the egg so the Nilgal didn't push up. Then Tam could transform safely and heal. But Sirmia didn't die, so thank goodness we're still in this. I S2 to heal. And the Gab is stolen right off of her. That's unfortunate. We hit. Hey, we got a double hit. I got no way to attack buffer, so hey, we got the defense break, and that finishes it. 12.6 million points. Fantastic, stable team. Even with a misplay in there, we still ended and were able to full clear. And 2.6 million higher than what I needed for Dagger Sicar, I hope shows that you don't need insane gear. You need really good gear, but not insane gear to pull off this team. I hope this helps you guys out with your Dagger Sicar mission for Nilgal. Get that banged out. If you have other team ideas, please put those in the comments section. I know people who don't have these units would probably really appreciate it. If you have any questions, also ask them in the comments section. Don't forget to join my Discord, and remember to like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your week, everybody.